On today's episode of Gathering the Kings.
Right, let me just think of all of the legal contracts that I've signed that precludes me from saying, yeah, it went that far. The worst decision I've ever made and that had the biggest impact on my business was, and once again, that was based on inexperience, was hiring an employee based on good faith. Based on, I think this will work. There's a good click, the attitude rather than the aptitude, or all of those things.
Hey, kings and queens, Chaz Wolfe. I want to talk to you about something that's super important to me. We put a lot of time and effort, we meaning myself and my team, into this podcast, into the content that goes out every single day. And if you have been getting any sort of value or insight from this, we want it to be able to reach other business owners too. So we would love if you would like, comment, share, leave a review, post, share again, all of the things on social media, on all the different platforms, or even on the podcast mediums of Apple and Spotify. We would love to be able to get our content into more hands, more entrepreneurs, so they can grow their business as quick as possible. Together, we are building a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who are committed to growing their businesses to new heights. So let's do this. Let's help each other. Let's help each other grow.
realization, clarity, aha moment, light bulb, conversation, whatever you want to call it. And from there follows the things we already know how to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
it's
to know how to do all of them, you can go find experts for it. But as you are the leader, then you need to lead that process.
Yeah. Mic drop. Boom. We're done.
Okay. Weight of the crown.
Yeah. Well, and it's the acceptance of that. It's not like, again, going back to the beginning, it's not like, oh yeah, put the crown on me. It's shiny. It's gold. It's got jewels. It's like, no. What we're talking about is, like not letting down your clients and not letting down the other people and really just not choosing the hard thing because you were just like, because you were digging in on the previous bad decision.
Yeah, I couldn't make it work, so I'll give up all of it.
Yeah, wow. That makes me think of too, we all know that like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, this too shall pass. Like these phrases that we use to kind of get through sticky moments because they're true. They're cliche, but they're true. But what I have found, tell me if you agree, Miss Clarity Queen over there, is that typically this too shall not pass actually, if you don't, what you're saying, have the clarity and make the decision. Because if you just stay where you are stuck, this too shall not pass. Like it's not going anywhere.
No one's coming.
No one's coming. You. Oh, that's so good.
No one's coming. It is on you. So when I usually go, when I realize that I'm creating thought patterns and habits and spending time on things that I know aren't geared towards growth, but geared towards other things, staying stuck in problems. So I'm like, what is the first date that I've thought about this? How many minutes per day do I entertain myself with these thoughts? And then when I go back to the first conversation, and this often happens either with clients or with products that you need to retire, or, the really, really hard decisions when you need to make a big move. How long have I been thinking about this? And you'll be surprised how often the answer is years. So if we are saying the first time I had this realization, this urge, this thought, this escape plan, this whatever it is, it's now been 3 years, 6 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
This too did not pass. And the only way it's going to pass if you say, this is the cutoff point, and it's on me to move it along. And then obviously you have to make a decision, well, what does the new thing look like? Because you can't move away from something without having something to move towards. But weight of the crown, that's what we signed up for, whether we knew it or not.
Yeah, so good. So good. I want to take a left turn here just slightly, but it's still very much in tune with what your energy is all about. But your family is a big deal. I know, obviously, you've already mentioned, your husband and your kiddos. For entrepreneurs, I don't know if the ones that you know, but every single one that I've met is obsessed by nature. We're all in. We're excited. We're leaderless leaders, if you will, as we talked about. And so what that has left a lot of times is like I go all in on my business, but maybe I didn't with my marriage or my family. And so I'm just a firm believer that there is no such thing as balance and that actually I can go all in on all of it. And so tell us your thoughts on that and maybe how you have done that.
100% agree. My balance is in extremes. All of this and nothing of this, balanced with a period of all of this and nothing of this. I am either super on top of the world and super driven and super productive, and my team just goes, this too shall pass.
I feel like my team feels the same way.
Then there's a period where I just rake myself over the coals the entire time. Why aren't you so productive? Last week you produced 3 of this. No. So for me, it's not a balance of little bits of everything in a period, but very much in extremes. And once again, I've been very privileged to be married to my husband, who's the complete opposite of me. He's just the exact same every single day.
Mr. Steady.
And when I get on a stage, I tend to have a little bit of energy in the room. I don't know if you've noticed. The feedback I usually get when I get off the stage is, people come up to me. You married? Yeah, sure. Your poor husband.
Yeah.
My response to that has become, he knew exactly what he married.
That's right.
That to me is not making myself small, but it's more than just who I am. He knew who he married, but he knew what he married as well.
Yeah.
Because it is a way of being. Entrepreneurship is a way of being. Wearing that crown is a way of being, and it does get into everything. So for me, the way I've managed it, balance in extremes, is I have cutoff points. So I will not schedule meetings if I can't help it past 5. Work starts at 9, ends at 5, and ends over weekends. But that wasn't the story from the start. So we had children and the business and a new renovation house all at the same time. But luckily, or maybe planned, the kids were really small then. So the extra hours and the extra weekends and so on, they were asleep in any case. I'm a very, very privileged point at the moment that as they were growing up, the business was maturing as well. The team was maturing and growing and strengthening. So I could focus more on being a good mom and having that actual balance in the more traditional sense of the way, and still ticking all of my boxes at business. They still hate it when I get on a plane. I still write on the calendar, why do you need to go away? Because I need this to be me. If you want a good mommy, you need to have a good Juanita. There you go. Just having those conversations with not only my husband, he understands, but with the kids, and saying, this is how people are created. This is what makes up people. This is what makes me happy. I understand that it does not help you, but you've got to understand who I am as well. Having those honest conversations with your family, with your friends, whoever it is, not expecting them to understand where you're coming from, but educating them and also listening to what their needs actually are. And then saying, how am I going to schedule those things in? And that's where the balance is. Whether it's being extremes or a little bit, balance is about the good and the self, the greater good and the self and the other.
Yeah, I love it. I can't add anything to that. It was, I just genuinely hope, because I mean, I've just thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs at this point that I've talked to personally even, and this is a real thing. So it's not just like, oh, that's a great answer. And then you go home and you don't do anything. Like you take, Juanita's answer and you go, okay, like how do I actually wrestle with this to apply it? Because if you don't do anything with it, then there's no clarity, there's no decisions being made. You're just stuck, and then your family's actually getting the brunt of it. So one last question here for you. Queen Juanita, I want to know, if you had the chance to whisper to the younger Juanita, what would you tell her?
Oh dear, we're getting very deep and I don't have an answer for that. All of the other answers have been easy so far.
Had to get you with something.
No, you completely got me. I don't know. I think something cliche like it'll be okay, but that doesn't resonate with me. Actually, worry less.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell my younger self. Worry less. Not it's going to be okay, because very often it hasn't been, but worry less.
What does worry less help the younger Juanita do?
Just actually enjoying the stuff that she's creating. Just enjoying life in between. Just realizing the moments rather than getting stuck in the worries and the next big thing and the aspiration. But having a few moments of creative levity. And I've got that now. But the younger Juanita definitely needed a little bit of help on the worrying is wasting time. So I've created the mantra for myself when I get into a space of worry. Don't worry about it. Work at it.
Yeah.
All you can do. Worry just wastes your energy. And the older you get, the less you have. So worry less, work more. I
love it. Clarity shall come. Juanita, how can the listeners find you? Number one, if they want to hire you as an advisor to be able to help them maybe get out of some stuckness and get some clarity, or maybe they're just an entrepreneur, they want to find you, they want to follow you on social or connect with you. How can they connect?
So it's very easy in the age of Google, but you've got to be able to spell my surname correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure that you are seeing it in the caption of this podcast, but very easy. Just Google Juanita Vorster. The trick is it's Vorster, and you'll find me there. I post usually on LinkedIn, my random thoughts, but for the rest, you're welcome to go and find me online.
Yeah, it's perfect. We'll have it in the show notes as well. Easy click for them to find you. Thanks for not only being here, but I so enjoyed this conversation. I think that not only just a lot of value here, but the just youthful spirit. Thank you for listening to Gathering the Kings today. I hope that you were able to pull out a few nuggets to go apply into your business right away. More importantly, though, I hope that you're realizing that it takes more to be successful than just being by yourself, doing it all on your own, carrying the weight all by yourself. What I have realized, not only in my own journey from multiple businesses and multiple different industries, and now interviewing over 200 or 300 other very successful 7, 8, and 9-figure business owners, is that it's tough to do it alone. And so Gathering the Kings exists to bring together successful entrepreneurs. In fact, we are putting together 1,000 kings, specifically who are grateful but not done. We're intentionally assembling kings who fight tooth and nail for their business, family, and communities. And here's what we believe, that in the pursuit of excellence in those areas, that it ignites within us the responsibility to govern power and forge a lasting legacy. So if that relates and resonates with you, and you know that you need people around you, sharp, qualified, other very successful business owners, I want you to go to gatheringthekings.com. I want you to take a look at what we're doing and see if it makes sense for you to be part of our pursuit to 1,000 kings. Talk soon.